class valedictorian, the smartest one in the room when it comes to the internet and computers. Also one of the most powerful witches in all of existence. But she didn't start off that way. Willow's journey has been one about power and control, and how much she strives for both of them. Welcome to part 2 of our Buffy Motivation series. I hope that you will enjoy it. If you do, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell notification so you always know when the Turnout puts out a new video. We're already having a fun time doing them, so we're gonna keep doing them for you guys. So in season 1, Willow is a shy, soft-spoken girl, constantly picked on, and is largely an outsider. Then she meets Buffy.
It's probably easy for you.
In Buffy, she sees strength, confidence, and power. All the things she lacks. All the things she really kind of wants for herself.
Yeah, I do.
Willow at this point doesn't believe in herself, she has zero confidence, so she becomes a Scooby in order to help Buffy do her duties, wielding a little bit of Buffy's power in a way.
This is the dead and missing list. I pulled up their classes, activities, medical records. Good work.
A lot of this continues into season 2, but having hung out with Buffy for a while, she now knows how to take advice to an extent. In the episode so aptly titled Halloween, Willow decides to dress like a vixen, the sexy woman she was becoming, but loses that confidence quickly. Instead, she covers herself with a sheet and becomes a ghost.
This just isn't me.
This episode is pivotal for her growth, as in the end she doesn't need the sheet. She felt empowered. Overall though, she is still fine with being a sidekick deferring to Buffy for almost everything. Season 3 is where we start to see a change, due to Buffy leaving for the summer and the team largely having to figure out what to do without her around.
That's right, big boy. Come and get it.
Also, this is when Willow starts beginning the ins and outs of magic. It wasn't an all-at-once change either. To be more useful, Willow became really good at researching with Giles and even participating in a few rituals and spells, so this evolution made sense for Willow as a character. The episode Gingerbread is where we get to see the first ramifications of her messing with magic occurring, but it also gives us a look into Willow we've never had before in the series. When witch materials are found in Willow's locker, we get the one and only interaction between Willow and her mom. We see that Willow's upbringing really hasn't been that great. Her mother is an academic, and because of this, she treats Willow as a development group, a statistic. She talks down to Willow and ignores everything that she says. We find that Willow has had no supervision, no real parenting, and always tried to be the good girl because that's what was expected of her.
I'm a rebel. I'm having a rebellion.
Willow, honey, you don't need to act out like this to prove your specialness.
It was also easy to do because she never really had any power to change it. She was just a statistic. But introducing magic to someone in that predicament changes a lot of things. She gets her first dose of the bad side of magic when Amy turns herself into a rat. Which also turns out to be irreversible, until later. And a few episodes after that in Doppelgangland, we actually see that Willow can float a pencil. The terrible events earlier on in the season have now pushed her to get better and better at magic, thus accumulating power.
Neat. Thanks. It's all about emotional control.
Season 4, Buffy the College Years, sees Willow's powers grow, but also a change in herself. Her attraction to Oz makes a lot of sense. The girl who fights for power and control ultimately fell in love with a boy who has complete control over himself, except for 3 days a month when he needs to be taken care of.
I know what it's like to have power you can't control.
But when he loses too much control and ends up cheating on her, he leaves, and she is destroyed. Tara then enters the picture, a girl who reminds Willow of her old self, shy, quiet, in need of protection. At this point, Willow has power. Willow isn't quite Buffy level, but she can protect those weaker than herself. And the bonus of Tara being a witch also, who can boost Willow's power, makes the relationship even better. At the end of season 4, we get another amazing look into Willow's psyche. She wants to stay with Tara forever, finding peace only with her, because her confidence just really isn't there yet. She needs that cornerstone, that crutch if you will. She's grown as a person, but is forever scared that it's not real. like she's only wearing a mask. Season 5 is where we get to see a stark rise in Willow's power level. Almost every episode she has a new spell as a solution for their problems.
Ignis Incente. Willow, check you out.
And with Tara, their power is unstoppable, except for the fact that they were facing a god, Glory. While Buffy is pulling away from Riley, Willow is getting even deeper into her relationship with Tara, becoming her family entirely. But on the whole, her magic becomes more blatant and more, well, magical, especially when Tara is hurt by Glory. This is where you get to truly see how far she's come as a witch. No way would the old Willow rush into a god's house and try to take her down. At this moment, she's a hero equal to Buffy.
I owe you pain.
But then, only Buffy could really save the world at the end. Willow, in Season 6, feels that she can control everything, now that she has power. She has taken over the mom role for Dawn, the leadership role of the Scoobies, and she has the power to cancel death as a witch. Willow wants to bring Buffy back from the dead because, well, she can.
Tomorrow night, we're bringing Buffy back.
And this is the point where she has reached her climax, and she feels like everyone should be congratulating her. But the opposite happens.
And you are lucky to be alive, you rank, arrogant amateur.
You're right. The magics I used are very powerful. I'm very powerful, and maybe it's not such a good idea for you to piss me off.
Regardless of how much power she has, and she uses her magic a lot at this point, the others now think she's too powerful. Her pride makes her think that this was all jealousy.
Willow, you are using too much magic. What do you want me to do? Just sit back and keep my mouth shut?
Well, that'd be a good start.
But her desire for control tells her she can prove them wrong. This of course backfires when it's discovered that she's been wiping Tara's memory and lying to the group.
When the crystal turns black, the spell will be cast. Tabula rasa, tabula rasa, tabula rasa.
And then the show takes the magic as a drug theme quite literally. Magic was definitely a drug for Willow, but it was less about having magic and more about the power that magic gave her. And it ended up taking a lot for her to go clean. But when Tara gets hit by a stray bullet from Warren's gun, she finds out just how much power she doesn't have. She can't bring Tara back from the dead, and she lashes out to become Dark Willow.
That's better.
She loses control and wants to show just how much better she is than Giles, who she felt treated her like a child, and Buffy, who she's always admired, but was now nothing compared to her power level. She was eventually calmed down by Xander, funny enough, the character on the show with the least amount of power, and she swore off magic for good. Coming into Season 7, we now have Willow, who is scared to use magic. She is scared that if she gives in just a little bit, even the smallest spell could send her into a bender.
Giles, I'm not done here.
That's your fear talking.
She has all the power, but lacks the same confidence and control over herself that she had always strived for the entire series. It isn't until she lets go of her fear, allowing herself to be powerful and controlled, that we see the true beauty of the person she was to become.
Oh, my goddess.
Of course, it was Buffy and the Slayerettes that took the fight to the first, but in the end, without Willow and her power and her control over magic, they would never have won that battle. In the end, Willow saved the world. Willow's search for control was really hard fought. She tried to find it through love, she tried to find it through pure power, but she only found it in the end within herself. Hopefully you enjoyed that video. If you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. And I've been your host, Aloy. This has been the Turnout. Thanks for showing up.